Hello, hi, welcome to the Journey We Take podcast. This is your host, Janelle Wells, and this is where we're navigating life's journey together. And it's in this shared experience that we discover the common threads that interconnect us and those universal truths that simplify our paths and bring clarity to our existence. And while many, many different voices echo these timeless topics that I tend to cover on these episodes, each new perspective I feel like adds depth and renaissance. So I think that just amplifies the truth for all. And I feel like we can never go wrong with a little reminder on how we can really make the best of our lives. So with that being said, today we are delving into the 5 rules of life, exploring how they guide us towards fulfillment and purpose. So join me today as we uncover wisdom and share a little bit of insights. And yeah, let's get into it. All right. So just to make things clear, I did come across this photo and it did have 10 rules of life on it, but I grabbed 5 for today's episode, and it didn't explain much, but it just had like a sentence for each each bullet point, each rule of life. And yeah, so I just wanted to elaborate on them because I thought they were actually very valuable. I feel like they could honestly bring value. So let's get into it. Number 1, be present. Now is the only moment that you have. So don't ruin it by dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. We've all heard this one before, but it's not on the top of the list for the sole fact of redundancy. We really do have this human tendency to spend too much time outside the present moment. Because honestly, guys, being present is so much easier said than done. According to this Harvard study that I was researching, we spend almost 50% of the time while we're awake not actually thinking about what we're doing. We're lost in thought, distracted, just our thoughts caught up in other matters, and we're actually mindless to what's going on, not fully engaged. Our bodies may be rooted in the now, but our minds are constantly skipping to points in the future and the past, just ruminating on prior events or just giving more attention to future possibilities, like where we want to go, rather than the actual physical moment that we're in. We're all guilty of it. We all have wandering minds. I am probably the worst at that. But yeah, I'm here, but I want to be there is definitely a normal way of living and thinking. But in the meantime, we have to remember that we only exist in this very instance. So just do your best to take it in. Because living neither in the future nor in the past is feasible. And I know we, again, are guilty of being preoccupied with thoughts and narratives of both. But just remember that those are merely abstract concepts that just confine our consciousness in the same thought pattern. And that obscures the richness of life that is actually unfolding in the present moment. Brandon, my husband, he actually introduced me to this book when we first started dating. And, it's been about 7 years since I actually really read it, but it really stuck with me. A lot of the points in it. It's called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I definitely recommend it to anyone who, is asking, what should I read? It's usually on the top of my list of what I recommend, but it just has so much value in it, and it changed the way I view things and just like my philosophy of life and stuff. But the author, Eckhart, he talks about, for example, when you're doing the dishes and you think about what you're going to do later typically, or what happened before, past events or whatever, lost in thought. But you're not typically thinking about doing the dishes. You're not paying attention to doing the dishes. You're not really in the now. You're in the later, yesterday, tomorrow, or whatever day that you happen to be thinking of. But he recommends, like, the next time that you do the dishes, try listening to the sound of water flowing through the faucet and pay attention to how it feels like whenever the first drop of water touches your skin, and just notice very consciously how your skin becomes wet and how it feels when you rub both your hands against each other. Just those little details, and it'll bring you into, the present. So just the simple idea is just to be present in the very moment and notice everything very consciously. And next, just try doing the same thing with your mind. Instead of being the thinker, watch the thinker and notice how the thoughts that you have come into your mind and how you subconsciously keep thinking about random things endlessly. And then try to detach yourself from the thinker and try to look at it from behind, as if like you're watching a movie or something. And then as soon as you try to do that, the thinker ceases to exist. It's like it creates this gap, and this blank gap brings you to the now. And I know that might sound a little a little out there, but if you catch my drift, I don't know if you catch my drift, but speaking of drifts, when you catch yourself drifting, I'll just end it here. Just try to practice keeping your attention anchored in reality rather than like straying into the imaginary things, so to say, like prior events or ones that have yet to exist. And then when you discover that your attention is like being wrapped in those ideas of future or past, then just try to relax, let it go, and redirect your attention back into what's actually real and what you're actually doing that's unfolding right then and there. Because so much of the quality of our lives is truly determined by how we invest and manage this precious resource of our conscious attention. So just do your best to absorb the moment that you're in, whether you're talking to a friend or reading a book or simply washing your hands. Just be present. And that is number one. Number two, give it time. Things are quietly unfolding, even if you can't see it yet, and time heals everything. I don't know about the last little part there, but we'll see. Have you like just ever felt stuck in a moment, like totally unable to see the path forward? It's definitely very common in our human experience, but the reassuring truth is that even whenever it seems like nothing is happening, time is quietly at work, and it's orchestrating the subtle shifts and changes that lead to our healing and our growth. It's, springtime. So think of it like a garden in winter. Beneath the seemingly dormant surface, life is still stirring. Roots are deepening and preparations are still being made for the vibrant blooms of spring. And it's very similarly in our lives during those moments of stillness or difficult times. So it's just important to trust the process. And even whenever we can't perceive it, it's still happening. Life is still happening for us. And time definitely has a remarkable capacity to heal the wounds, whether they're physical, emotional, or spiritual. It at the very least offers us perspective, and it allows us to gradually make sense of our experiences and find meaning in them. Just as, a wound heals from the inside out, so does the passage of time enables us to heal from within. But time isn't just about healing. It's about progress. And as the days turns into weeks and weeks into months, we often find that what seemed impossible to manage becomes more manageable, and challenges that once loomed large begin to recede, and new opportunities emerge on the horizon for us. So if you're feeling stuck or uncertain, just take heart in the knowledge that time is definitely on your side, and trust in the steady rhythm of it. And even when you can't see it, progress is quietly unfolding for you. On to number 3, be grateful. The more blessings you count, the more blessings will flow in. Yes, I believe this wholeheartedly. Gratitude is like a magnet for blessings. The more that we acknowledge and appreciate the good things in our lives, the more abundance that we invite in. I don't do it every day, and I probably should, but it's a habit that I'm trying to get better at. But having like a little gratitude journal, or just somewhere to write every morning, or if not, at least at one point in the day, like a list of the things that you're thankful and grateful for, it definitely helps cultivate that gratitude. And it's simple, but it's so powerful. And I believe that what we focus on just expands even more. So when we take the time to count our blessings, we shift our perspective from scarcity to abundance, from negativity to positivity. And again, back to another analogy that has to do with gardens, but just think of it as like planting seeds of gratitude. And then with each acknowledgement, little seed there, each acknowledgement of blessings in our lives, we sow those seeds for even more blessings to grow. And it's just like a cycle of abundance that perpetuates in itself. And as our gratitude just attracts more reasons to be grateful. But gratitude isn't just about attracting external blessings. It has a profound effect on our inner state. And when we cultivate an attitude of gratitude, we train our minds to focus on the positive aspects of life. And even whenever we're facing challenges, it just remains how we are at the core. And the shift in mindset can have, very far-reaching effects in our overall well-being. And that will just help us and lead us to greater happiness and resilience and inner peace. So the advice here, the rule of life here is to count your blessings every day, whether they're big or small, and just express gratitude for the people in your life, the experiences that you've had, and the simple joys that bring you happiness. And as you do that, you'll find that the blessings in your life will multiply, and it'll create a ripple effect of positivity that extends far beyond what you could even imagine. Number 4 is something that I think is a golden rule of life for sure, and it's exude kindness. You never know what other people are going through, so choose to spread kindness and love. Just embody kindness and love. And when you choose to spread kindness and love, you, again, with the ripple effects, you create the ripples of positivity that have the potential to uplift and inspire others. And kindness isn't just limited to grand gestures or extravagant displays. It can definitely, be found in simple acts, a smile, a kind word, or just a helping hand to someone. And it's really about showing up for others and offering your support and encouragement and being that source of comfort in another person's time of need. It's definitely a way of being and a mindset that creates empathy, compassion, and connection. And here's the beautiful paradox. It's as you exude kindness towards others, you also nourish your own soul. And there's this joy that comes from knowing that you've made a positive impact in someone else's life. And no matter how small it is, it doesn't matter. It just fosters a sense of connection and belonging, and it reminds us of that shared humanity and the power that we each hold to make the world a little bit brighter. We all have this superpower, and it's so amazing. And it's kindness. It has the power to honestly heal us and uplift and inspire. And in spreading love and kindness, you will find that you receive far more in return. Number 5 is let it go. By releasing what no longer serves you, you create space for what will. In this journey of life, we often will find ourselves holding on to things that definitely no longer serve us. Past hurts, regrets, fears, attachments. But when we cling on to these burdens, they only weigh us down, and it just hinders our growth even more, and it prevents us from embracing the full capacity of life that truly awaits us whenever we can move forward from, that weight. But that's where the power of letting go comes in. It's an act of liberation, and it's a conscious choice to release the grip of the past and make space for new possibilities to enter our lives. It's so much easier said than done sometimes. But letting go doesn't mean forgetting or denying our experiences. Rather, it's about acknowledging them and learning from them, taking what you can from them, making the best of it, and then gently releasing them with love and compassion, But when we let go of what no longer serves us, we just make that space for what will. It's like clearing out a cluttered room and making, space for your new furniture and decorations. And by releasing old patterns and limiting beliefs or toxic relationships, we open up ourselves to abundance and more joy and true fulfillment. And I know I said it already, but letting go isn't always easy. It requires an act of just being courageous, I guess, and vulnerable. And then you definitely just have to be willing to embrace the unknown, because when you let go, you don't know where you'll end up after that, because sometimes we're holding on to things because it's all we've ever known or whatnot. But it just means to step into the discomfort of uncertainty and just trust that the universe has something better in store for us. The rewards of letting go can honestly be far more than what we can imagine. And when we release that weight, we will feel lighter and freer and even more aligned with our true selves. And we'll get to experience a sense of renewal, like a little butterfly that, comes out from its cocoon. We can fly away and land upon our wildest dreams. But yeah, if there's something in your life that you're holding on to, whether it's even resentment or anger or self-doubt, just take a moment to pause and reflect. I just want to say that I definitely have had, not necessarily, I guess, it was like anger. I've had anger towards people before for, past actions that I feel like went against me and like just proved their disloyalty or whatnot. And, it took a lot of strength to acquire that forgiveness within my heart. But I knew that once I could let it go, I could truly like move on. And I did feel lighter and I felt freer just knowing that that wasn't tainting me from the inside. And it's just a simple question that, you really have to ask yourself is, Like, is this serving me? Is like holding on to these feelings of anger, of self-doubt, of whatever it is it bringing me closer to who I really want to be? And if the answer is no, then maybe it is time to just let it go and just let it go and trust the process. And yeah, no longer giving that time and energy to what's not serving you. And yeah, just making space for that beautiful life that lies ahead. Yeah, surrender to that flow of existence and just watch how the universe fills the void with blessings beyond your wildest dreams. So guys, that was number 5 of the rules of life. I have 5 more rules for you guys on the next episode, but until then, I highly encourage you guys to take the ones that we covered today and try applying them to your own life. Be present, practice gratitude, spread kindness, and have the courage to let go of what no longer serves you. I hope that you can take something from this episode today, and if not, at least listen to some other ones that came before this and see if you can gain some insight on any of those. But until next time, guys, I really appreciate my listeners, and if you're enjoying the podcast, like, subscribe, give me some love on whatever platform you're choosing to listen to this on, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.